Now, allow me to introduce the dedicated York International team. First, we have Eugene Lee, who is the International Student Experience Coordinator, overseeing the orientation and transition portfolio. As previously mentioned, I am Tirth, and joining me is my colleague Anika, who is another student coordinator. By the end of this webinar, you should have a better grasp of the available resources at York, as well as what Orientation Week at York is all about, how international students can benefit from Orientation Week, as well as how to register for Orientation Week. Our agenda for the day includes a few key essentials to know about when preparing to come to York University, and an overview of what Orientation Week here at York looks like. We will also touch more on the international and exchange student orientation. We will be discussing more on what it is, when it is, where it is, as well as why you need to be attending it. Finally, we'll have a question and answer session, and we'll be providing more information on upcoming Bravo webinars and events. And on that note, I would like to welcome Ariba and her team from the Student Community and Leadership Development, or abbreviated as SCLD, talk more about how you should be preparing yourself for a successful journey at York University. Over to you, Ariba.
Thanks, Tirth, and thank you, Eugene and Tirth, for having us. So we're from the Student Community and Leadership Development Department, as Tirth said, and we're here to just talk about transition programming and the services that we offer to students during the summer and a little bit during the fall and winter. So just to get started. By the end of this presentation, you will have more knowledge about what summer transition programs there are available to new and incoming students and their families, and the online communication tools that are available to students that provide another way of connecting with us and other students. And then that would be the Slack community, and through emails. We're very active on our community on Slack, and then we try to answer student concerns over emails as best as possible. So hopefully by the end of this presentation, you'll have some more details on that. So just to introduce our student team. So our student team consists of me. My name is Ariba. With me, I have Shaylee, Rachel, and Clara. I'll let them introduce themselves. But I'm in my 4th year of criminology. I just graduated. And go ahead, Rachel.
Hey everyone, my name is Rachel. I'm going to my 3rd year of biomedical science.
And I'm Clara, and I'm going to my 2nd year of cognitive science.
And Shaylee.
And I'm Shaylee, and I'm going into my last year in biology major. Over to you, Ariba.
Thank you. So you'll see our faces around during our summer programming. And then we work under O'Shea, who is our supervisor and the new student transition coordinator. So why do we have transition programming? The programming that York University implements is unique, and it allows students to have a stress-free and fun transition to university life. We're also students, so we understand the anxieties around transitioning to university and experiencing a new environment. We were all in your shoes at one point. And why you should get involved. It's so you can connect with your fellow peers and ask questions and hear from upper year students. You'll also hear from professionals at York University through the panels that we host, like 201s, which you'll hear about in a little bit. And then finally, you'll be able to learn tools to success and you will need during your first year. And finally, to start university off with a bang. So this will give you an opportunity to learn everything that you need to, so you don't come to university on your first day and be like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know who can help me. So the types of transition events that we host are campus tours. And these are delivered in person, of course, because we take you all around campus to help create a sense of familiarity to these locations for new students and to introduce academic wellness and student services and resources to students. It also supports new student transition with peer-to-peer engagement opportunities, because those who lead the tours are students as well. So, and the locations we visit during these tours include but are not limited to Very Hall, the Ross Building, Campus Walk, which is like Lassonde Building, William Small Center, Tate McKenzie, the First Student Center, and York Lanes. Our Q&A info sessions are held virtually. They're also called virtual info sessions. You'll see these on our Eventbrite, which we will also talk about in a little bit. But these will basically help you explore the resources more in depth that are key to the first year student success. And you'll be able to interact with York staff that provide student support services, clarify processes involved with using specific York resources, and they'll cover topics like finances, sports clubs and recreation, York International, accessibility services, residence life, so like living on campus, and there'll also be a tour of eClass, that's a virtual info session, meal plans and healthy eating, and we'll also be doing some on orientation week. So those are virtual info sessions. I'll pass it over to Rachel to talk about York 101s and 201s.
All right. Hi, everyone. So our third types of event that we host, they're called York 101s, 201s, and parity-focused events. So this events are mainly held virtually and in person, and this helps you describe the benefits of various services available to students and helps students examine the tips and tricks, used by upper year students in navigating campus life, and helps them differentiate the difference between high school and university environments. Most of the students that we have coming into York as incoming students, they usually always come from high school, and it could be quite a bit of a struggle to know the difference between my high school environment and my university environment. So coming to the sessions gives you highlights or like what you should expect as a university student. Then it helps, we give the session to help students identify online and in-person resources and helps them interact with other incoming new students and make connections. Over the months of leading the campus tours and York 101s, we've seen students make friendships between themselves and also come up to us, ask us questions. So it's not just coming to learn more information. You're also coming to meet new people that could be in the same program, same faculty, or even just we not have anything similar with each other, but just gonna meet new people and also make connections with us as well as we get to answer questions over the course of the event. So the types of events we hold for the York 101 is usually catered to the student first in their family. So if you're a first generation student, the BIPOC, the Black, Indigenous, and people of color, and the 2S LGBTQ plus students. And the York 201s, which is a more specific event with different departments at York, it usually includes the Black Excellence and the Learning Skills Services. And our fourth types of event that we host are called the Parents and Family Sessions. So these sessions are usually offered both virtually and in person. So this is mainly for the parents and family of the incoming students, and this helps them recognize financial opportunities for students to receive funding from the university, as finance is one of the big topics that we cover also at York. Understand how government-issued financial aid is processed by the university, and learn about different career opportunities available to students both during and after completion of their degree. So this sessions usually cover topics such as what York Life is all about, learning and academic support, student finances, and they also get a chance to meet with other parents and also get a chance to talk to the York Senior Administration. So it's not just only the student staff they'll get to talk to, but also the senior administration staff. Okay, and our last type of transition events that we host are called the Campus Service Fair and Clubs Fair. So this is mainly offered in person, and this helps you get to know the various services offered by campus partners on campus, like the security services, parking and transportation, learning skills services, and so much more. This is usually offered in person, mainly to be able to get insight into the people you're looking at, be able to know more about the clubs and like the campus partners that are available at York for your own personal resources. It helps you have your questions answered and receive knowledgeable information straight from the source of information. So it's not just us telling you what this is about. Now you get to hear face-to-face from these campus partners themselves. So it helps you also interact with various clubs offered at York, doing clubs fairs, and learn how to get involved. So if you are going to be interested in everything, clubs, different types of clubs on campus, you get to also have a face-to-face interaction with the club's partners. And some of the services on campus that we offer during these types of events, the student financial services, the learning skills services, the Go Safe at York, which is a part of the security services, the writing center, York International, and so much more clubs. And our clubs also include the cultural clubs like the Indian Student Association, religious clubs like the Muslim Student Association, and clubs relating to your major degree, such as the Undergraduate Political Science Council. I'm passing it off to Clara now.
All right, thank you, Rachel. So if you want to join our upcoming events, we have a website where you could see all of our upcoming transition events. It's www.yorku.ca/orientation, or you could just scan the QR code. Everything is free, and yeah. So additional resources. So us as a transition team, we also run the Slack channel. So our Slack community allows students to connect with each other and make friends. I remember I made my first friend as an international student through Slack. So we encourage people to introduce themselves and find common interests with others. We as a transition team also post events for students to connect with each other, both virtually and on campus. And we ask questions to our student staff about programming, and any concerns you may have will be swiftly addressed. So if you have any questions, we're always there in the chat. And if you want to email us, we have the email, and it's newstudent@yorku.ca. You can email us with any questions you have about transitioning to York, and we'll answer your question. And we reply pretty fast. So yeah, no question is too small. So we also have YU Start. So YU Start is a new student transition program, and it's designed to support you as you make your way into your first year at York University. It's filled with modules that you will go through, informing you on York services. It has ample amounts of resources and information. YU Start will also help you enroll in your courses, connect with fellow classmates, student leaders, faculty members, student staff, and become more familiar with campus life, supports, and resources available to you. We encourage students to use YU Start because it obviously helps them enroll in their courses, connect with fellow classmates, and a whole bunch of other people. And you basically become more familiar with campus life and every resource that is available to you. So that brings us to the end of our slide. You can follow us on our Instagram. Shaylee put it in the chat. Student Life YorkU. Sorry, it's wrong. Let me just type it in the chat. Student Life YorkU, and we also have a Twitter. You can also visit our website, yorku.ca orientation summer transition events, or email us if you have any questions. Okay, so I'm gonna end off with the quote. Sometimes it's the journey that teaches you a lot about your destination, by Drake. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ariba, and your team for your presentation on preparing for York University. And now that we're ready to come to York University, it is important for us to know where our journey will start. Well, in fact, here at York, we have an orientation week that spans the entire first semester or the first week of your semester. And I would like to invite Stephen from SCLD to provide you folks with more information about orientation week and everything that goes on during orientation week.
Thank you so much, Dirk. Really pleasure to be here today. Hi, folks. My name is Stephen Tiong. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm one of the coordinators at SCLD in charge of orientation. So first, this is me. This is O'Shea. Together, we handle all the transition orientation programming. So any burning questions that you folks may have just regarding what is it like to enter York University, we got your back. What is orientation week? So orientation at York is a multifaceted program. On the first day on August 25th, we'll have all of the students move in. So all new students, regardless of your campus, will be moving in on this first day. Then on the 25th and 26th, if you are living on residence, you'll be invited to do the residence orientation with the Residence Life team. As international students, you folks will also be welcome to join the international orientation that's going to be hosted by Eugen and her team. Key to what we're going to be talking about today, though, is going to be social orientation week. When you think about orientation and you see it on TV, it's a very Western concept, but generally it's kind of those big parties that you go to, those small icebreaker games, the way that you really make a lot of your lifelong friends. Throughout orientation, you'll also see an opportunity to participate in academic orientation. This is where you're really getting into the nitty-gritty of what is your program like? Who are your professors going to be? What courses are you going to be taking? And who are other students in your program? Lastly, we close off transition orientation programming on September 5th with Open Doors York. Think about it as your last chance before the start of classes to meet any university partner you may want to meet. Whether you're talking with student accessibility services, athletics and recreation, or maybe even York International again, they're all going to be there for you. So what is orientation? Orientation Week is a program of social and academic activities designed to introduce you as a first-year student to what life is going to be like at York University. It's really your best opportunity to help you find your way around campuses, meet new people, and learn more about the traditions and communities at York. When I was a first student at York all the way back then, I really found Orientation Week to be really, really helpful in making a lot of friends and becoming a lot more comfortable in my university before I got started. Whether we're talking about making friends that are going to be in your classes or even finding where your classes are going to be, it's really a phenomenal way to make York University feel like home for you. So this is a peek of what Orientation Week looked like last year. You'll see on the first day we did move in, you'll pick up your orientation kit where you get your merchandise, you get your access to all of the events. We do an opening ceremony, we did a disco. Throughout the entire orientation, you'll see we do a carnival at the Glennon campus. We talked about the academic orientations. You get to visit our gym facilities. You get to see a bunch of social activities, whether we're talking about club fairs, icebreakers, scavenger hunt. We'll also explore the Greater Toronto area a little bit more by doing some beach days or going perhaps for a downtown scavenger hunt. We'll also do a bunch of different activities for every program and faculty that's unique to you. So you might be wondering, how does Orientation Week work at York? We don't just have one O week, we actually have 11. Orientation Week at York is ran and operated by the 9 colleges and then the faculties of Lassonde and the Schulich School of Business. You might be a bit confused by this. You might be thinking, hey, I thought I was going to university. You are, but being a part of the university also puts you into one of these colleges. Our colleges exist to help make our really, really big university of 55,000 students feel a little bit more small and intimate. They're your place to study, hang out, and participate in a more intimate setting. It's really a place on the campus where you can feel like you're at home. Which college do you belong to? Well, you can just click on our handy college finder at www.yorku.ca/orientation/college finder. And this will show you which college you're a part of. You're usually assigned to college just based on the academic program that you folks are going to be studying. So for example, if you're studying political science, you're most likely going to be then in the McLaughlin College. Or if you're going to be studying finance, you'll either be part of the New College or Schulich School of Business. So why should you be part of O Week? Why should you participate? One, I think it's a phenomenal opportunity for you to meet and create new meaningful connections with other students, not just in your program, but also in the entire university. It's really, really an awesome way to kind of get to know the people across the entire university, whether you're going to be talking about other new students or whether you're going to be talking about upper year students. It's also your way to explore the different resources and services that are offered to you. Whether we're talking about counseling services, the gym with athletics and rec, or even, for example, the shuttle bus services going back and forth for different campuses, you'll get access to all of this as you see it through O Week. You'll also become a lot more familiar, not just with York University, but with the GTA or the Greater Toronto area. You can figure out where you might want to hang out when you're, having free time between classes, or where you might go on a weekend break when you have time with your friends. So how do I register for orientation? On our orientation website that Sarah just put into the chat, you can find the links to the 11 different orientation weeks at York. This is going to be updated as we go through the summer, so if it's not there yet, have a little patience. It'll pop up sometime in July. Sometime in July, you'll find each group's contact information, their social media, and their website, all of which will include more information about their O Week and how you can get involved. I'm going to pass this back then to Eugen and her team.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Stephen. And I hope this will pique the interest of you folks who are joining us this fall. So make sure to check out the orientation resources. And if that interests you, then well, go ahead and register for orientation weeks. And now that we have gone over the general orientation that is specific to all the York University students, we also have another orientation, as Stephen mentioned, which is the International and Exchange Student Orientation. Since York University is a very diverse community, York International organizes an international and exchange student orientation for all the international exchange students. And this orientation is tailored specifically for our international and exchange students, ensuring that your transition to York University is not only smooth, but also filled with amazing experiences and long-lasting connections. And before I continue, I would quickly like to remind you folks that you can keep asking your questions using the Q&A feature, and we will be addressing them shortly during the Q&A time at the end of the presentations. So just as a quick reminder. Moving on. So what exactly is the International Exchange Student Orientation? Well, it is actually a comprehensive program that is designed to help you, our new and international and exchange students, to adjust to life here at York University. We've actually planned a variety of activities and sessions that cover the academic, the social, and the cultural aspects of university life. And our orientation will be held at Very Hall on August 26th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So mark your calendars because you definitely wouldn't want to miss attending our orientation because it will be a bunch of fun. And in fact, I'll give you a few seconds to scan the QR code on your screen, and this will take you right to the registration website. So feel free to register for it from there. And rest assured, you'll have an amazing time at our International and Exchange Student Orientation. And why am I saying you'll have an amazing time? Well, here's a sneak peek at what we have planned for you, because we'll be starting off, or rather kicking off, with our warm welcome from the York International team. And during this span of the program, there will be essential information to help you with immigration-related inquiries through our immigration and UHIP advising sessions. UHIP is essentially the University Health Insurance Plan. So if you have any questions regarding immigration or UHIP, you can have them answered. And you will also be having an information session during the orientation program, providing an additional opportunity to stay up to date with your immigration expectations as a student in Canada, because you know it comes with quite a lot of expectations. And we also have a service fair organized for you folks, because this will give you an opportunity to learn about the various services available to you, including the various Canadian bank service providers, as well as cell phone service providers, and the different resources such as athletics and recreation. If you're someone that likes, going to the gym or just likes engaging in sports activities, and that's not just limited to athletics and recreation, we'll also be having the various resources available to you. We'll also be having our guided campus tours, and this will help you get to know more about campus and give you a sense of familiarity with the different campus locations. And we'll also be showing you the exciting spots to be on campus, as well as where your lectures will take place, so that you're not confused on your first day and you not find yourself stranded, because York University has a very, very huge campus. And we'll finally be wrapping it up with a fun shopping trip to Walmart to get all the essentials you need, making sure you're fully equipped to start your journey at York University. Well, ideally, the shopping trip is an opportunity for the students to get things, or rather the most essential things they need, because the international students or you folks are not expected to bring everything with you. So the shopping trip is basically geared to help you folks get all you need. And now you folks must be wondering, why should I attend the orientation? What is in it for me to be spending all my time at the orientation? Well, attending this orientation is crucial for several reasons. First of all, it helps you adjust to the environment more comfortably, and this ensures that you have a smooth transition to the new environment, because you'll be moving to a new country, and yeah, definitely you'd want to be having a smooth transition to your new environment, and you want everything to be a smooth ride. And you will also have the opportunity to discover the resources that are available to you, from the academic to the social support, which is very vital for your success and well-being during your time at York University. And lastly, but not least one, and the most important one that I believe all you folks should be most excited about, which is having a chance to make new friends, as well as build your community right from day one, which is the most invaluable part of your university experience. Well, speaking from personal experience, I believe making new friends and connecting with international peers is definitely one of the most important parts. And there's quite a few more benefits that would take me more than 10 slides to list, but I couldn't do that. So yes, attend the orientation and you'll find out what those other amazing advantages are. And we also understand that not everyone can make it on August 26th, which is the main orientation, as I previously mentioned. It may be because you may have delayed visas or any other unforeseen circumstances. And that's why we were considered enough to have alternate orientation days. So for those of you arriving after August 26th, we have two upcoming orientations. The first session will be held on September 13th, 2024, or at Founders Assembly Hall, and the second session, will be held on September 27th at York Lanes. And both the orientations will cover the same programs that I previously mentioned, but we will not be having the service fair or the shopping trips on both the respective days. And I would suggest you folks scan the QR code that you see on your screen and simply bookmark it to your browser in case you have any unexpected situations that may come up and you may not be able to attend the orientation on August 26th. You may have this two orientations bookmarked on your browser so you can swiftly register for this as well. And I'm pretty sure you folks must have come across quite a few orientations that you may attend when you arrive in fall. As previously mentioned by Stephen, you have quite a lot on your plate during your first few weeks at York. And I will help you break them down with the different orientations available to you, and each of them designed to help you with the different aspects of your university experience. Firstly, we have the international and exchange student orientation, as I discussed in the previous slides, which helps you, you the international students, meet fellow other international students, connect with important services and resources at York, such as immigration, UHIP, the bank providers, cell phone service providers, and many more lists that I mentioned in the previous slides. And this is also an opportunity for you to start building a community right from the start of A1. We also have the academic orientation, which on the other hand is more focused on your academic journey. And this is normally organized by your faculty and helps you connect with your professors, as well as make friends with your classmates and discover the wide range of academic related services available to you at York. For example, if you need math help or if you want to write a research paper and you need help with citations, these are all the available resources that you'll be able to discover at your academic orientation. And understanding your academic expectations is very key to your success. And this academic orientation ensures that you're very well equipped with your academic journey ahead. So keep peeled out for any information right from your faculty. If you have any information about academic orientation, you can always register for it from any information sent to you out by your faculties. Finally, we'll have the social orientation, which dives into the vibrant social scene that is always looming around the York campuses. And you'll be able to engage in exciting activities like sports, different carnivals, performances, and different field trips. And it is a fantastic opportunity for you to make friends outside your faculty and explore the various fun and engaging student services available to you beyond the classroom. And these events, formerly known as Frosh Week, are normally planned by the different colleges, and Stephen touched on it previously in his slides as well. And now, here are a few frequently asked questions that we have received over the past years from our international exchange student orientation. And you may have similar questions, and you may have them answered here as well. So please read through the frequently asked questions available on York International's PRIVO webinar website. And one important question which I wanted to highlight is whether you need to be attending all the orientation sessions. Well, although it is not required for you to attend all the orientation sessions, I and the rest of the team of the orientation week highly recommends that you attend these sessions because of the various social, academic, and the cultural activities we have offering. And this helps you transition smoothly to York University. And of course, that's the most key essential for you folks. Well, I know this was quite a bit of information, quite a lot of information, in fact, but I hope you folks had the opportunity to learn about all the various orientations, whether this was the international exchange student orientation or the academic orientation. They are all an amazing opportunity for you folks to kickstart your amazing journey at York University. And thank you to the SCLD team for providing more insights on transitioning to York University, as well as providing more information about orientation week. And we will now be opening the floor to any questions you may have. So Please use the Q&A feature to submit your questions, and we will be addressing them shortly. Take a look at the Q&A. And just to recap over today's session, while we actually covered several key aspects of what the summer transition programs available for new students are before they arrive at York University, and the different online communication tools available to you students. And this helps with an alternate method to connect with other students, as well as the new student transition team from SCLD, which was the team of Ariba. And we also talked about Orientation Week and the various orientation programs available, as well as the timeline of what happens across the whole Orientation Week. We also talked about the international and exchange student orientation. We emphasized on the importance for adjusting to life at York. We also discovered and explored the various academic and social orientations, each that helps you in different aspects of your university experience. And we also discussed the International Exchange Student Orientation Program, which includes the essential information sessions on immigration and UHIP, as well as a service fair, a campus tour, and a shopping trip to Walmart, which is the most exciting part. And we also highlighted the importance of attending the orientation that helps you transition smoothly into university life and discover the resources, as well as the most important one, which is to build your community. Take a quick look at the Q&A feature. So one of the participants says, may I know what time the Start Smart visual meeting will start? I'm not really sure about what you mean by the Start Smart visual meeting, but if Ariba or anyone from the SLD team would like to handle this question, if you know more insights about it, you may answer it, please.
Yeah, I'm not sure also what they mean by Start Smart visual meeting. I don't think that's any of the events that we host.
Yes, I think the participant would try to mean why you start, might be. I'm not quite sure about that. Or the 101 sessions, why you start.
If they're referring to meetings with their advisors, I'm not sure. Maybe they can type another question and clarify before I try to answer and probably say the wrong thing.
Yes, of course. We'll be reaching back to you regarding the Start Smart visual meeting. Through the remainder, my colleague Anika will be replying to you from the back end. And I just wanted to let you know about a few personal experiences that I've had as well, because why not hear from my experience since I've been in your shoes before. So when I first came to Canada, I was actually very worried about opening a Canadian bank account or getting a cell phone service provider, since it was my very first time doing so. And I was very worried, as I previously mentioned, but during the International Service Fair, the York International Service Fair at the International Exchange Student Orientation that I attended, I had the opportunity to speak with professionals from various Canadian banks and the cell phone service providers, and they guided me through setting up my bank account and choosing a mobile phone plan, all from the comfort of the service fair. So I didn't have to go anywhere far away to get everything sorted, which made my transition much smoother, and it marked just the right perfect start to my journey at York. I'm pretty sure you folks must all be worried about getting, your bank account set up and your cell phone mobile plan you can get your cell phone service provider. Well, at the service fair, you can have all of that sorted. And if you're overwhelmed by everything, you can have everything sorted at the service fair, because I have been in the same position as you and I had that sorted too. And I will go through the Q&A feature in case there's any more questions. And we have no more questions. So we will be taking a look at a few of our upcoming webinars and events. And just to remind you folks, you may continue to use a Q&A feature through the remainder of the sessions, and we will be answering your questions at the end. Okay, so as Ariba mentioned, we have a Slack community channel for the incoming students, but this is a link to the York International Slack channel, which is your go-to hub for connecting with fellow incoming students and accessing valuable resources, as well as getting your questions answered before you even set foot on campus. And the Slack channel currently has over 550 incoming students already on board. So if you want to be part of those 550 students, I would suggest you scan the QR code and join us and start building your network before you even arrive. And you can get to meet the 500 new students that are already on our Slack channel. In terms of the upcoming programs and webinars we firstly have the June community event hosted by York International's Global Peer Program. And this event is designed to further support your transition to York University and Canada by focusing on the theme of this month's event, which is Faculties at York. And it is an excellent opportunity for everyone to meet fellow new international students and connect with GPV mentors in a small group setting. So definitely do not miss out on this chance to enhance your academic journey and build valuable connections within your community. Next, we have the YI Meetup, which is an exciting event where you can connect with fellow international students, engage in fun games, enjoy great conversations, and start making new friends before you arrive in Canada. And to be honest, I wish I had this opportunity when I joined York because it is really an amazing experience. So if you'd like to grab this opportunity with both your hands, I would suggest you scan the QR code once again and join us for the unforgettable experience. And we also have the links placed in the chat so you can register for it from there too. And do not miss our upcoming June drop-in session as part of the Global Peer Program. This is your perfect chance for a valuable one-on-one time with a mentor who is usually an upper year York University student. And it is the perfect opportunity to connect, ask any questions, and gain insights from someone who has been in your shoes. And once again, remember you can register for the event by clicking the link in the chat, and we look forward to seeing you there. Like I previously mentioned on the slide, the community events hosted by York International's Global Peer Program helps further support your transition to York University. And the theme of the July community event focuses on traveling to Canada. Since it's getting closer for you folks to travel to Canada, it will be an amazing opportunity to ask any questions that you may have. And yes, do not forget, you can register for the event by clicking the link in the chat. And finally, we have the Arriving at the Canadian Border webinar, which is perfect for you folks since you're also arriving in Canada very soon. And it provides essential information about traveling to Canada, navigating the customs, important documents, and what to expect at the airport. And joining this session will definitely make your arrival much more smoother and stress-free, as you will know what to expect when you arrive at the airport in Canada. Here we have our events calendar that can tell you about the dates and times of our other webinars we have coming up, and you'll also be able to register for them right from the website. And before we wrap up, we'd like to encourage everyone to stay connected with us through our social media channels. And by following us, you'll receive the important updates, event announcements, and opportunities to engage with your community. And before we end the webinar, I'd like to take a quick look at the Q&A feature. Okay. I see Ariba would like to answer a few questions. So if you'd like to answer a few questions, Ariba, the floor is yours.
Yeah. So the Start Smart webinar, I just looked it up. It's a webinar that Schulich offers, and you should be able to see an invite in your email to register for that. And it's just a mandatory session where you're going to be learning about important program details and expectations. So that's all through Schulich. Their sort of programs are sometimes separate from ours, since they're the Schulich School of Business. So it's a little bit different from what we offer in terms of like they offer more. So the Smart Start webinar is something that they offer. So you can look on their website. You can also email them. If I don't know if someone can drop their email in the chat, but that's what that is. And then another question that I can answer is, what is the deadline to register for the orientation program in August? Actually, no, I think that's Stephen. Stephen, do you want to take that?
Sure, yeah, for sure. For orientation programming for at least social programming, You can register as or as late pardon as the first day of orientation. So this is all the way up into August. For other pieces like academic orientation, I don't believe that there is a registration. I think you just would have to show up the day of. And then lastly, for international orientation, Darth, can you speak a little bit more to that?
Yes, sure. Well, the deadline to register for the International Exchange Student Orientation in August is August 21st by 9 a.m. So that's the deadline before which you have to register for the national orientation. And we have someone saying, please, as international students, how can we get our YU card and even create our York passport? So for the YU card, I would highly recommend that you get it when you get to campus, and you can directly do so by visiting the YU card office. And for creating your York passport account, you should receive an email from the York U IT, which will have all the it will have your credentials to help you log into the York passport. And yes, we'll have a few of I have my colleague send you the links to those in the chat as well. One of the participants says, international students are not allowed to bring everything, as you said. What are we expected to bring then? I would suggest you folks to take a quick look at one of the webinars, which is called What to Expect When to Come to Canada. And that will answer all your questions related to what to bring. You can take a look at this webinar from the York International Pre-Arrival webinar, and you will find it there. We have the whole recording of the webinar. So just like this format, we have a recording there. So you can watch the whole webinar at the comfort of your home as well.
I'm sorry, Terrence, just before we go, just to let you know, for that question as well, if you'd like to know more about what to bring, I really encourage that you join the webinar that we're having in the next 2 weeks. It is called Arriving at the Canadian Border. We'll have a licensed immigration specialist at the webinar where you get to ask all your immigration related questions. And we also talk a little bit about what you will be able to take. So I would really, really encourage you to join that webinar in the next 2 weeks so you could get a more niche answer to that question. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anika, for more insight on that as well. And we have one of the other participants, asking us to explain more about week 0 orientation of the Lassonde School. So the week 0 is actually a 7-day in-person orientation that is held by the Lassonde community. And it includes events like different beach day parties and the Glendon Carnival. And it will provide an opportunity for the students to get to know the campus more, as well as what happens at Lassonde, especially the Lassonde School of Engineering faculty. And yes, it's just another type of social orientation where you'll get to meet new friends and make new connections, and yes, enjoy your moment at York. And the week 0, orientation of Lassonde School actually runs from August 27th all the way to Monday, September 2nd. And you can also get your tickets for the week 0, and I will have the link placed in the chat to that as well. And now that we do not have any more questions, I would like to say thank you all once again for attending, and I look forward to seeing you at other webinars and events. Thank you, everyone. Oh, before I go, someone is saying, could you please give us the registration link for the Canadian Border webinar? Sure, we have that linked in the chat too when I spoke about it. Yes, it's placed in the chat as well. So you can take a look at it and you can register for there as well. Do we have any more last minute questions? And I'll wait a few more seconds. Okay, so since we have no more questions, I will say thank you all once again for attending. and looking forward to seeing you at other web. Oh, wow. Another question. So do we have to pay tuition fees before arriving to the university? Well, in terms of my experience, you have to pay a tuition fee deposit, which will be related to your faculty, and you should be receiving more information of that through MyFile or through your the letter you receive on your MyFile, and you'll have more information about how to pay your tuition fee deposit from there as well.
Sorry, Tess, I'll answer this live as well. So your tuition fees, there is a deadline when you have to pay. We would recommend, I'll put the link for this, is we do have two forms of how to pay the tuition. We have Convera and CIBC. One of them, CIBC, is a great way to pay for your tuition because you're actually able to see the currency within your country, and then it will tell you how much it is in Canadian, but you're able to pay within the currency of your country as well. If you join the webinar on July 31st, the Arriving at the Canadian Border, we will actually have folks from the CIBC bank to talk to you about how to pay your tuition and some fun little giveaways that they're doing if you do use their portal. So I would invite all of you to come and join us on July 31st.
Thank you very much.
And yes, sorry, the last question is the recordings. Yes, this recording will be uploaded along with these slides. Our team will put in the chat the link for the pre-arrival webinar website. You will also get an email with the website itself to be able to access the recording. I think they're looking for the website right now. Okay.
And we have one more question which says, apart from Facebook, is there any other social platform for incoming international students? Yes, we do. We have the Slack channel. As previously mentioned, the Slack channel has over 550 incoming students where you can get to meet them, as well as the York International channel on Slack, which has all the incoming international students. And we also have the link to the Slack channel placed in the chat too. Yes, the link has been placed in the chat. We have any more last minute questions for me to answer? Oh, yes. And if you would like to scan the QR code, it will take you right to the Slack channel as well. If you do not want to, if you have not yet found the link, you can also scan the QR code on your screen. Okay. Well, it's my third time saying thank you to everyone, but once again, thank you all for attending, and we look forward to seeing you at our future events.